Back in the day, I've given this example to a couple of people in other conversations. The difference between cultures now and the cultures back then was, when I say back then, let's call it 1800s, where you had to mail a letter.
Okay.
One king gets mad at another king, they mail him a letter.
Right.
It takes 2 months to get there by ship.
Right.
The king reads it. He knows he ain't in no hurry. They ain't waiting for a text back. You know, I ain't ghosting you. I'm gonna write my letter. So he writes the letter.
He
writes a letter. He has his advisors read the letter, and they go, you know, that language right there, you've probably changed this word and that word. And the king goes, yeah, okay, I'll rewrite the letter, and y'all get it. Well, and then they mail it back. And it takes 2 months. By that time, the king on the other side probably lost a little bit of his anger. It's gone down a bit, and the letter that he gets back is all kind of flowery, and we'll be cool. Just chill out. We got 6 months that went by.
Right.
Now it's 6 seconds. And so hot goes fast.
Yeah.
And when you're hot and you can act without any kind of cool down period, it's that old count to 10 your mama used to say.
All right, so hot to fast. Let me ask you one question.
Yeah.
Because we dabbling in politics, and I feel like we give a little bit early. But I wanna ask you about how do you feel about the storming of the Capitol?
I thought it was stupid. I think everybody that went through those doors should be arrested.
That went fast, real quick. You get what I'm saying? Like,
everybody that went through those doors knew before they went through those doors whether they intended violence or not. Right. Right. Let's just skip the whole taking over the country philosophy. Let's just forget about that. Let's pretend it didn't exist. Everybody that went through that door knew they weren't supposed to go through that door because there were barricades up at some point, which means you're not supposed to go there, which means you did anyway.
You know that you
should get arrested.
But I feel like that was something out of a movie. It was very much. That was something like, you know, I'm an educated guy. I went to school for a couple of years and stuff like that. I had a philosophy class where you have flashbulb moments. We all have flashbulb moments, like 9/11 is a flashbulb moment.
Oh, I see.
You're gonna know exactly
something in your life that happened that stands out.
It's something that happens to everybody. It's a standpoint moment where everybody knows what they was doing when Michael Jackson died. You know, this flash like when the world goes through something.
Reagan got shot. That was one of them.
Martin Luther King got shot, or you know.
But I was alive during the Reagan got shot.
When Sonny and Cher went through that. Yeah, like those flashbulb moments. You know what I mean? Like when Mike Tyson lost his first fight, everybody kind of knew what they was doing when those moments happened. So when that happened, that was a flashbulb moment for me because it was something that was that never happened before.
I see.
And it was monumental. Okay. You get what I'm saying? Which changed the course of things.
Okay, so it was. Here's an interesting
because now they gotta make laws about new laws. Like now you're gonna get 20 years if you even think about something like that.
America makes laws every time something. America makes laws just to have fun. We got so many laws. But you know what's funny is because it's a watershed moment. I think that's the right term. Watershed moment for a lot of people when that happened because we have gotten to a place where a certain segment of society feels like that is okay. And there's a big section of society that also feels that rioting or
that's
painting, throwing paint on pictures or burning down official buildings or laying in the road or, all of this stuff. First of all, your marketing sucks. If you're trying to convince the other side for your cause, you don't tick them off. You talk to them. Right. You don't stand in their way so they can't get to work, so they can't feed their kids. Or, as is happening, people dying trying to get to the hospital and they can't get through these riot barricades or whatever it was at the time.
Well, when they riot, when you have a riot in the city, it's all anarchy.
Yes.
Most riots are temperamental blow-ups. When I say that, it's not, when I say like on a thermometer. Yeah. It's something that happens that triggers something to make the public rise to a boiling point.
Has there ever been a time in society where that isn't the first thing that happens when something bad happens?
Charleston?
No, I'm saying they don't riot.
I feel like here when they had when they had the
9.
The 9.
The church shooting.
With Dylan Roof.
Yeah.
And everybody kind of
That's true. Nothing did happen.
I think
nothing at that moment happened.
I think it's because the unity in Charleston is strong.
Do you think that the leaders did something correct?
I think they had no. There was some rebellion, but it wasn't on a scale of burning everything down. A couple people, they protested. They marched.
But see, protesting and marching is not the same as rioting.
Right, exactly. Rioting is like they broke
destruction.
They had to barricade some windows and stuff like that. They had to be cautious.
Yeah.
But I think it's just Charleston police got a strong hold in the city too. But that's not going to stop the public.
Right.
If the public feels some kind of way. So it's just more so. Yeah. I think it was just they monitored that situation correctly.
I think they got out in front of it pretty well.
Right, off from the top.
Yeah, because they were.
But it was a tragic. Rest in peace to the 9 that lost their lives.
Obviously.
Because that's a touchy subject. You know what I mean? So. But.
Yeah, I mean, well, that goes back to the heart of the question I had about the gas station. It's why he picked it. Who knows? I mean, that particular building.
Oh, that's all premeditated. That's all premeditated and hate. When you good and evil, good and evil's been running this earth for a long couple billions a year. Whether it be a dinosaur eating another dinosaur, insect eat, this is a dog eat dog world.
But
out
is that
here.
evil? That's not evil.
Well, you don't. Well,
okay, so like.
Well,
that's just life right there.
Life is
evil
life
would
is,
be intent.
Life is evil. Sometimes.
Is it evil?
It can be. It depends on the nature of who's viewing it.
And that brings us full circle to what I said at the very beginning. If you know the intent of the person you're debating with or arguing with, and you know that their intent is pure,
right,
then you're not really arguing.
Right.
There's no evil.
Right.
But if you know or feel that the person that you're arguing with or debating with has an intent to embarrass you,
right,
disprove you just for the sake of it,
right,
or or bring down your world just because, then you're not going to come into it with any sense of a road to accomplishment.
Right.
You're just not. And that's evil in my book. And that's what's going on everywhere. People are getting colored with a lens that may or may not be true everywhere. Because it's just throwing mud until who's the dirtiest.
I feel when you said that just I had a flashbulb moment more of the old Roddy Piper movie.
I know him, but I don't know the movie. You're gonna call out a movie I don't know in the first show.
I'm sorry. My bad, bro.
What is?
Well, yeah, it's a good movie. It's called.
Well, what's the point of it?
Well,
the reason that you brought up the example.
Well, because it's it's like we have a veil on our eyes. And so like, say I had these shades on, and when I put these shades on, I can see the truth.
Red pill, blue pill?
Red pill, blue pill.
But biblical, now I see through a glass darkly.
But now I open this, I'm blinded by social media now. I'm blinded by entertainment now. I'm blinded by drugs. I'm blinded by sex. I'm blinded by rock and roll. I'm blinded by politics.
Distractions.
I'm distracted in so many different views that I can't see that nature is beautiful. I can't see I can't smell the crispness of the air. I can't embrace the love of my life the way I want to because I'm so jaded by worrying about
because you got lens upon lens.
I'm trying to keep up with the Joneses in society and all that kind of stuff. Like I'm not really getting the true purpose of life because
so what's the key to toss the baggage? Huh? What's the key to toss the baggage?
Well, that comes from a person from within when they get tired of society. When they get tired of society norms of keeping up with the go flow, like the people that just say, you know what? Because I'll be honest with you, it's crazy you say that because this is I don't like to tell people my initial ideas and my thoughts like that. I like to keep them myself. But you know, in a perfect world, I'll retire and you know, and probably buy, you know, have some land in the United States, but I'll probably have some couple land in some other countries and stuff like that. So I know how to deprogram and be able to live on a different scale of life, to challenge my mind to not just be decompartmentalized in this one society. I had the idea, and you see these people that say peace comes from simplifying. If it's complicated, there's anxiety that comes, and that makes no peace, right? And so I thought about how far can you actually simplify to get ultimate peace? I mean, if you want to take crazy example, you like those monks, right? Who, you know, sit cross-legged in a robe for 4 days. Oh, they do a lot. And all they do is breathe. Yeah, they do a lot. You know, but that's a lot, though. That's ultimate simplification. It's a science to everything. Oh, sure. And I'm not getting into how they do all of that. But I'm saying, if you wanted to give up everything, you would. The only thing you would have to worry about is it going to rain on me, and what am I eating next? Well, all that sound to me is like how a nun feels. A nun, like Catholic? A nun, a person who pledged their life to Christ, and take that oath. But see, okay, I get where you're going with that, but there's so many rules to being a nun that is complex to me. There's no peace in that, because you're always having to not mess up. But that's not peace to you, but it can be peace to them. Fair enough. What is it then that you would say is your? Mine would be basically, I told my wife jokingly, right, half jokingly, 75% joking. What I would really love to do is have a shack on the beach where I sell beer to retirees, you know, like in Mexico, right, or you know, Belize or something, and you know, an 800 square foot house. Nice little nothing. Right, like off of your backyard, like off your patio, you got a little bar. I have to brush the beach sand off of my porch. You know, and then possible. Yeah, but that's what she wants too, which is kind of nice. Oh man, reminds me. So through our talking, I asked you about a couple of things about like investment. Yeah. Are you into stocks? Because I'm trying to learn about that so I could be better financially prepared to survive in this world that we live in. I am not. But you did mention to me, because I'm checking to see what's hot, what's good, what's good to like put my money at. And I remember you saying something about Bitcoin. Yeah. And so I wish I had gotten into it way back in the day. A guy at one of the second or third year it was around, a guy said to me, a buddy of mine, he was right. He said, put $100. And I went, because back then, $100. When it first started, give me a year, like 2012. Oh man, 2004, is it that far back? Could be that. What was the first year? I don't remember the first year. I think they started. I have to do some research, but because I've been going back. Well, no, it wasn't 2004. It was 2008, 9. Exactly. I had to figure out where I was working at the time. 8, 9. Yeah, 8, 9. And it took off in 13, 14. And it was like, you know, you could get it for just a few tens of dollars, and when it got to the peak, it was almost 60,000 per. And it's funny to me that you said that with your Utopia, because it's a documentary on HBO Max called Anarchism, and it's all about that Bitcoin movement where those people that got that intel that you got early, that I didn't take, they all were against this system, and they built a Bitcoin little metropolis in Mexico. Oh, that's cool. And they had a lot of activity, so when it took off, when Bitcoin hit that max point, did they cash in? They all was chilling in Mexico, living the life that you said. I want you to check that out. It's called Anarchism on HBO Max. Well, the whole reason that Bitcoin, if I've got the story right, and it's, you know, a very bare bones and it's still valuable right now. It's like 30. It's like almost 27,000. Yeah, but it was almost 60 at one point last year. So, and I was in it. I was in it hard. I bought a miner in the whole 9 yards. I outfitted. It was crazy. Go ahead, I'm gonna let you finish. But electricity is expensive, and those things run a lot, and they cost, like, to run it was here in South Carolina. Our electricity is high. Hey, it was like $300 a month to run that. Do you got solar? Huh? You need to invest in solar.
I don't have the roof for it.
Okay.
I don't have enough. Like the south facing portion of my roof doesn't have enough square footage for it to make it financially reasonable for me. I've already checked it out, but yeah.
It's a lot of good returns.
Got some Florida. I got some land in Florida that I was going to build, like a 10-acre solar farm, because it's right there in the Sun Belt.
Okay.
And you get paid to produce
That's
electricity back there.
Exactly.
So, but I think we're going to sell that property and not do anything with that and do something else with it. But stocks, I got nothing for you. I just, you go with the guys
I was just brainstorming with you about that, because you took me back to those people that was doing that in Mexico. You know what I'm saying? When you was talking about just serving your bear off the beast, they was pretty much doing that.
So then let's go back to, like, I told you that, like, my ultimate peace place would be selling Coronas on a beach.
Where's my ultimate?
Where's yours? What is your, like, you said you wanted to be financially.
I'm gonna be realistically.
Yeah, realistic.
I got 3 places. I probably live in Brazil. If I could learn the language right. Somewhere in the Caribbean. It could be Jamaica, might not be Jamaica. It could probably be like Trinidad, Tobago, something like that. And if I don't want to leave the country too far, I'll probably just go to VI, Virgin Islands, something like that. I can find some land for a good piece of price.
But what is the place? Yeah, that's the place. But what's the
kick back, nice
what's
studio.
What's the algebra to?
Just a nice studio, good food.
So music still.
Yeah, still music, like
your own or somebody else's, both?
Whatever, anything. Collaborating with people, but having like a off base studio with a lot of good energy around me. You get what I'm saying? Well, but that will come in the latter part of it. You know what I'm saying? The peaceful side of just being knowing that. I got a daughter, she's 13, and it's like the love of my life. So I know she's gonna be like straight, like she wanna be a paramedic. So my goal is to keep her on a straight path, to get her there, and then, go live this life, travel, hiking, you know what I mean?
Oh, you an outdoorsy kind of fella?
A little bit, you know what I mean? Yeah. I'm not a big fisher or a hunter and stuff like that, but I would do it though. I have no problem. I like to camp. I'm a kind of like, earthy person.
I go camping on my motorcycle trips. Moto Photo Adventures, by the way, on YouTube. But back in the day when I was in high school, I came from Florida, moved up to North Carolina in the 10th grade. A buddy of mine named Paul took me out squirrel hunting.
All right.
Never been hunting in my life. He took me out squirrel hunting. I shot a catfish.
What? You shot a catfish?
I shot a catfish.
How you shot a catfish in the water?
Because we were up on a cliff and I saw him swimming.
Oh, so did you? Okay. Well, you didn't get the squirrel, then you got the catfish.
I got a catfish.
Did y'all eat it?
Oh yeah, it was a big old sucker. He was like that. But but yeah, we went and got it. But that's my hunting story. I've never been a hunter.
Well, my fishing story is, I don't like to tell this to people, and I shouldn't even be telling this on YouTube.
Yes, you can.
So the first time, I caught some fish a couple of times in my life as a kid and stuff like that, but the first fish I went to go visit my sister. It's probably 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago. They had to stay off of Lake Norman in North Carolina. And so I cast, I reeled, I brought it up, and soon as I brought it up, as soon as it hit the ground, it jumped right off the hook, right back in the water, yo. Yeah. And since that day, I haven't caught a fish since. I went fishing plenty of times. Was that the first
time you went?
No. It's not the first time I went. I go with my cousins and we'll go fish. Like we'll go around here, like Lake Marion or somewhere across the hatchery. Get a little crappie, stuff like that. Oh yeah, man. So I grew up. Most of my formative years were in Florida, but I lived in Pensacola, Florida, for a long time. Right. In Pensacola, Florida, it's in certain portions. You can go out 100 yards and it's waist deep, and so we lived. Our neighbors had a small little boat, John boat kind of thing, and we would toss the net out, and they would do a big old horseshoe from the beach around into the beach, and we would pull the net in, and we would cook croaker right on the beach in Pensacola. Y'all was throwing the net.
It was just you let the net out as you did the horseshoe.
It was almost like crabbing.
Yeah, I guess so. Okay. Yeah, but it wasn't like a toss net. It was like you feed it out of the back of the boat and you make a U shape and you pull everything both sides You get 2 or 3 people on both ends, and you pull everything in. You just pull the fish out.
Right.
And we would have camping, we wouldn't camp all night, but we would build a fire right there on the beach.
I feel like that. I feel like everybody need a little bit of that in their life to get back to nature a little bit. I just feel like we just so phones and
it's all.
I'm a machinist, so all I do is deal with numbers,
CNC type stuff, right?
CNCs, like blueprints, technology, just algorithms of numbers.
Well, we're sitting right here in my office where I do my video work, and I face that computer all day.
Right.
All day editing or researching or something.
I prepared for this since I was a little kid, Like I was getting ready for the future. Like I knew it was going to be like I'm kind of scared of AI. How long we got left?
I have no idea. What time is it?
It's about 8, almost 8:30.
I don't know. A few more minutes.
Yeah.
But you can call it right here if you want.
Nah, well,
it's our podcast.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, I feel like we talked a lot and gave y'all a little bit of that y'all know us so far, right?
Yeah. Leave some comments down there if anything you want us to talk about. But
to give us something, I feel like we can talk about all day long a little bit.
We'll try to bring up stuff that is current as we go, obviously.
Right.
But the whole point of this is less about finding the answers to everybody else's problems. It's finding the answers to this area, and that will move out to others and move out to others, hopefully through there. Like
you just start a conversation, it might just trickle down.
Start a conversation with a different mental attitude.
Yeah.
Don't make every Facebook post an argument, or don't make every Facebook post your argument.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, so this is about being optimistic and being able to see and listen from a different perspective.
Right.
Okay.
And so you gave me one earlier. You brought it to my attention, and I want to acknowledge it. I haven't had enough conversations where I allowed the person to have an opportunity to actually change my mind.
Okay.
So there we are.
All
Lesson number 1: change your mind.
Think outside the box.
Yeah, depends. It might be cold out there, but we get used to it. All right, well, see you on the next one.
It's a good one.
Cheers.
Yeah, I think you did a good job.